to where they want to rule the entire world. Okay, so they're trying to go out there into Syria. They're trying to go out there into Libya. Okay, because these are critical positions for military to set up. So if you go to where the Russians, they want to set up strategically, where they're going to go? They're going to go out there into Libya, man. Okay, because Libya is within ISIL, so all of those prominent targets that they want to be dealing with. Okay, so you go to where all of these so-called prominent places, they want to be in under the occupation of the United States Empire to fulfill what the scriptures say, where it talks about he enlarges his desires as hell, so he's ever expanding. Okay, ever desiring to own that which is not his, man, which is the entirety, or rather more the birthright, which is to rule the earth. And that ain't his to rule. It goes back onto the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans who are on their demise right now because they didn't keep the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. Okay, it's just that simple. Okay, so this goes back onto the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, and the 5th verse says, "Yea, also he transgresses by wine. He is a proud man." Okay, so he transgresses by way of his philosophies. So you got all these people. They're way off because the man that is in rulership has got it to where they're way off. Okay, his philosophies are against the scriptures. Okay, right? Pride. Okay. Right, adultery, right, covetousness, those are all philosophies that come by way of Esau, okay, and they're all against the scriptures, man. Okay, so this whole society, this whole kingdom is against the order that the Most High established upon the face of the earth. They're all against the order that the Most High established upon the face of the earth, man. Okay, so let's get back into the scriptures right here. So it says, "Yea, because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man." So one of the ways that he transgresses, he goes out there, he sets up puppet leaders, okay, puppet governments. Hey, what's up, man? Okay, puppet leaders, puppet governments, okay, and in setting up these puppet leaders and puppet governments, okay, he was gonna go out there and get what he needs within a particular land. Look at Nigeria. Nigeria is a great example. Okay, you all right there? You okay? Okay, Nigeria is a great example. They got vast amounts of oil resources, but who gets all the profit from the vast oil resources? Right, it's the American government. Okay, NATO. Okay, Germany, all of these different countries that went up into Nigeria, they set up their rule. Okay, because they transgressed by wine, they set up their own rule, their government, and the people that live within Nigeria, they don't get the money off of that. And the same story is applied all over the board. Okay, look at what they're trying to do with Iran. Look what they've done out there with Saudi Arabia. Okay, all of these are critical countries for Esau's rule because they provide the oil, okay, that Esau needs to maneuver his military, man. Okay, so let's go back onto the scriptures right here within the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. Okay, and this is the 5th verse. It says, "Yea, also he transgresses by wine. He's a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires as hell, right? And he is as deaf and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto himself all nations, and heapeth unto himself all people." Okay, so that's the nature of this guy. Okay, so it says here, "And shall not all of these take up a parable against him, a taunting proverb against him? Right, woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his." Okay, because he's amassing all of the world's resources unto himself, but it ain't his. So ultimately, he goes back onto the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. That's spoken about within the book of 2nd Ezra. Okay, I believe it's the 8th chapter. Okay, it's spoken about within the book of 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter, where the scripture says that he is pretty much something to the effect of that if the world be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance thereof? So pretty much you got it to where the Lord's got it to where the earth, okay, the fatness of the earth, okay, right? That's supposed to be for our inheritance, the Israelites' inheritance. But the Lord's also got it to where that's going out there to Esau, okay? Esau's the one that's controlling, and he's abusing that. He's misusing the resources of the earth. Okay, but see, now you got it to where all of these people are waking up to the fact he's misusing all of these resources, and in waking up to the misuse of it, everybody's seeking a new rule. Okay, the Moabites, which is China, they're trying to establish a new rule. Russia's trying to establish a new rule. Okay, which they're Edomites too, but they're saying, look, the Edomites are in rulership right now. They done messed it up for everybody. Okay, now let's not get it twisted. You got it to where you got the elites above that. They're the ones pulling the strings, saying, "Look, we want this to happen." Okay, within China, so the China rises up and starts a skirmish. Okay, we want this to happen within Russia, so Russia rises up and starts a skirmish because the elites play both sides, man. Where are you talking about World War I, World War II? The scriptures, there's a documentary out there that says that All wars are bankers' wars because all wars are orchestrated by the elite banking families. Because it benefits, the chaos that you're going to get out of that benefits the elite banking families. So out of World War I, hey, likewise, okay? So out of World War I, World War II, you had certain things that they could put in place for their so-called New World Order by way of those wars popping off. Okay, there's certain executive orders that they pass. Okay, that they are allowed to be signed off. Okay, when you got it to where you know some sort of upheaval happens, man. Okay, all of those things are what the elites play off of. They play off of the chaos that happens upon the face of the earth. Okay, so let's get back onto the scriptures here before I switch gears real quick. I just want to read one more verse out of this. Right, so it says there, that which is, so it says, how long to him that is laden with thick clay. So, pretty much, how long is it gonna have? Is it gonna be when the Mosai, till the Mosai establishes a new rule, okay, a new kingdom, okay? Right, how long has the Mosai gonna have it to where Esau is gonna be in rulership? And ultimately, what you're seeing now is you're seeing these prophecies being fulfilled. So it ain't gonna be too long, man. So the scripture is being fulfilled where it says that what? Though it tarry, it ain't going to tarry, man. It's going to be fulfilled, okay? So let's go now to the book of, let's go into the book of Thessalonians today, okay? This book of 2 Thessalonians, and, just ask the man. Okay, it's the book of 2 Thessalonians. Okay, and I was going to start from the second verse, and I'll go into the book of Jeremiah, the 50th chapter. So those were the topics that I wanted to go into today. Okay. Okay, so this is the book of 2 Thessalonians, the second chapter, and the first verse. Okay, so it says, "Now I beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahushua, right, by the gathering together unto him, that ye not be so soon shaken, nor troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter from us, that the day of the Lord is at hand." Okay, so we're going to go into all of the different things as pertaining to that particular scripture right there. Okay, how that pretty much the day of the Lord, that's a thing that's at hand. Okay, let's go into the book of 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter right here. So it says there, "Of the times and seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." Okay, so the day of the Lord is going to come as a thief in the night. You ain't going to know, look, boom, it's going to happen at this point. Okay, pretty much the day of the Lord is going to happen. You ain't going to be able to predict that. Okay, you ain't going to be able to map out, okay, the Lord's going to return at this point. Okay, I'm going to get myself right prior to this point, prior to the Lord coming back. I'm going to be all right. He's going to come as a thief in the night, man. Okay, he was gonna come when you go to where people are comfortable. They're getting back into a state of peace, into a state of sleep. Okay, and that's when the Lord's gonna have it to where these things was gonna pop off. Martial law. Okay, famines, plagues being sent forth out upon the face of the earth. Of which you go to the book of Zechariah, the 14th chapter, on the 12th verse. It tells you about one of those plagues. It says, "This shall be the plague wherewith the people that have fought against Jerusalem, right, shall stand upon their feet. And they shall literally dissolve as they stand upon their feet. Their eyes gonna dissolve within the eye sockets. Their tongues shall dissolve within their mouths. Okay, and that's all dealing with. Hey, what's up, sweetie? Okay, that's all dealing with. The fact that pretty much you go to where the Mosai has allowed Esau to create all of these ICBMs, and the Mosai is gonna allow it for Esau to use all of these ICBMs. And what do those instruments do? They literally disintegrate the elements, man. Okay, the scripture goes as far as saying that what the elements is gonna melt. Okay, and what instrument has the Mosai created or is allowed to be created that was gonna be used as the means of disintegrating people as they stand upon their feet? That's the ICBM nuclear missiles that the Lord has created out there, man. Okay, in fact, the scripture goes to saying that I've created the smith, right, that bloweth the coals, and he bringeth forth the instrument of his works. The Mosai has created them German scientists that came by way of project, or I believe it's Project Paperclip, okay, during the Second World War. Okay, they came over out there from Germany. Okay, because all of them top scientists, they come from Germany. You had it to where they came over there from Germany came into the United States because you had a nuclear arms race. Now that nuclear arms race led to all of these weapons being developed, but none of them ever being used except for the H bomb out there within Hiroshima. I believe that ended the so-called World War II, and pretty much that was it. But the technology that Esau's got in terms of weaponry right now, that's on a higher level, and all of those instruments they're gonna be used. Okay, that's why you go to the book of Malachi, the 4th chapter. What did it say? It says the day of the Lord was going to be a day of thick darkness. Why is it going to be thick darkness? Because you're going to have it to where the smoke is going to be coming up from all of these different places out there. Okay, from America being blown to smithereens. Okay, and destroyed. Okay, all of those different countries that have, and these are all things within the scriptures. You go to the book of Revelations, the 18th chapter. What do you think it's talking about? Okay, when John the Revelator wrote that scripture, he knew that Babylon was already destroyed. So what Babylon was he talking about? In fact, when you go to the book of when you go into the book of Jeremiah, Isaiah, Salakia, the Revelations, the 17th chapter. Okay, Revelations the 17th chapter goes into it to where the mystery Babylon is pretty much is described, man. Okay, mystery Babylon is described. Okay, mystery Babylon is described, and you find out what mystery Babylon is. Okay, right? It was going to be a woman that sit up upon. In fact, I'll get it now. Okay. Okay, so this is the book of Revelations, the 17th chapter, and this is the first verse. So it says, and they came, one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials. I shouldn't last too much longer. Okay, which had one of the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying, come thither, and I'll show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Okay, so you're gonna have it to where the judgment was gonna be played out against this person, okay, this group of people, this country, right, this kingdom that was going to sit upon many people. So in other words, they're going to have rule over these people. Okay, so it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornications with, that alludes back onto the Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, where it talks about how he's going to transgress by wine. Okay, so it says, with whom all the kings of the earth have committed fornications with, and the inhabitants of the earth, right, have made drunk with the wine of the wrath of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit, right, into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemies, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, so if you go into that a little bit and assess what's being said, we can get a good idea, okay, a great idea of who this is talking about. Okay. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman, okay, which is not really a woman. If you understand anything about the scriptures, these scriptures is going to be metaphorical, okay? It says, sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, okay? So if you go into the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, Daniel the 7th chapter, okay, you pretty much see that it was different beasts that was going to arise out of the earth. Okay, and those different beasts represented different kingdoms that was going to exist upon the face of the earth. Okay, and in them empires, they was going to destroy nations. They was going to set themselves up for a period of time, but ultimately they was going to be destroyed. It's no different thing within the Roman Empire. So when the Roman Empire was established, they ruled for a certain period of time. Okay, they had their prophecies as pertaining to them. Okay, I believe within the book of Daniel, the 8th chapter. Okay, and after they was after their demise, okay, you had it to where they was going to have a resurgence, a rebirth, so you can understand. Okay, now in having it to where the Roman Empire was reborn, it was rebirthed. You had it to where there was going to be an entity that was going to be controlling over this beast. Okay, so you go to where the Roman Empire, right? That's NATO right now. That's that beast. That's that scarlet-colored beast, red, because Esau is inherently a red creature. He's not actually white. He's red. Okay, so this red beast represents the Roman Empire, or the resurgence, the rebirth of the Roman Empire, Europe, right? NATO, so you can understand. And that woman represents what? That represents America, okay? Because you're going to have it to where America was going to be saying, look, we're going to go over there, and we're gonna do this, that, and the third. Because they sit up on the scarlet colored beast. Okay? They sit up on that beast and say, look, we're gonna go here, we're gonna go thitherwards. Okay, we're gonna go over here, we're gonna take that. Okay? They're the ones that are in true control of all of these things that are happening upon the face of the earth. Because that's the instrument that these elite banking families have used as a means of taking all that they want out of this earth. Okay, that's the instrument that the beast has used, all right, to have it to where these people are all under subjection, under their rulership, under their influence. Okay, that's why the scripture said what they said, with whom all of the nations, the kings of the earth, have committed fornication with, because they've all drank off of that juice, they've all drank off those philosophies. Because all of these countries, you go into them, what do they have? They have a central bank. And what do you do with a central bank? You move money, but you move money towards the you move money, but ultimately you move your resources into the hands of the elite banking families, man. Okay, so you got into where all of these people, they was gonna be in what? They was gonna be enslaved to the elite banking families, the Illuminati, so you can understand. By way of the central banks that they set up, by way of the puppet leaders they was gonna set up, okay, the puppet governments that they was gonna set up, to where all of the earth's resources and the people was going to belong onto the elite banking families. Okay, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornications, and the inhabitants of the earth have made drunk with the wine of the wrath of fornication. Okay, so they carried me away into the spirit, into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast, having names full of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. So you got it to where you got the 7 the 7 breakdowns in Europe. So Germania Minor, Germania Major. Okay, I forget some of the I forget some of the other ones, and then the 10 horns. All right, the 10 common economic markets, where with Esau deals within Europe. Okay. Right, so it says, full of abominations and filthiness and of our fornications, and upon her head a name written, Mystery Babylon, the great whore, the mother of harlots, and the abomination of the earth. Okay, so they're the abomination of the earth, Esau, okay, but ultimately America, and that's why you're gonna have it to where you're gonna be destroyed. It was gonna be destroyed. Okay, so let's go back onto the book of 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter now. And this is the 2nd verse. So it says, for yourself not perfect in the day of the Lord, so come as a thief in the night. And why is it going to come as a thief in the night? So you're going to have to where these Americans, okay, these Americans, they was going to be in a state of comfortability, but it's them that was going to have the greatest amount of judgment. Because you go to the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter, you pretty much find out that that's going to be the place where with the Most High is going to set it up as a monument, okay, of what not to do. Okay? Because you think about all of the wickedness that happens within the earth right now, it could all be traced back onto America, man. Okay? You go to where you got skirmishes within people's families and all of that. You know, kids ain't listening to their parents. Well, they learn that off of some American TV program. Okay? You go to where cancers are running rampant because the food people are eating. Well, you can trace that back onto the American diet, man. Okay? The so-called Western diet. The whole so-called Western mentality, right, comes by way of the United States. Okay, it's all being established by way of the United States. Okay? Hopefully that ringing is going to stop soon. Okay? Hopefully the ringing is going to stop soon. Right, so it says, for yourselves not perfect, the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them as a woman as travail upon a woman, and they shall not escape. Okay, so you're gonna have to where, you know, a clutch of Edomites out there within America is going to deliver themselves, okay, from the judgment that the Most High is going to place upon them. Quite the contrary. You go to the book of Obadiah, you find out pretty much the Lord is going to destroy all of them, man. Okay, you find out pretty much Esau is going to be completely wiped off of the face of the earth, along with the dudes out there within Israel, amidst the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, okay, that believe that Esau is going to get an ounce of redemption. Okay. Esau ain't gonna have no mercy, man. Okay? The scripture talks about how double of his judgment is gonna be written out, is gonna be applied unto him, man. I mean, you see how Esau moves, man. Okay? The devil don't give a damn. The devil don't give a damn. Okay, when they want to go take a man's land, they're gonna go out there. They're gonna take. When they take a man's heritage, they gonna go out there. They're gonna take it. They're gonna take the very land that they were supposed to be for their forefathers, man. They went out there into the land of Jerusalem, and they took all of the resources. They took they had it to where the people went out by way of 70 AD. When you had it to where I believe it was Titus, he rolled up into there. Okay, rolled up as a flood is spoken about within the book of Revelations, the 12th chapter. Okay, rolled up in there and took whatever they want, man. That's why these devils walk proudly, because they have taken everything that they wanted, and no one's ever regarded it. But the Most High is recording everything that's happening out here, man. The Most High is recording Esau doing all of these wickedness that he's doing, stealing, raping, robbing, murdering. The Most High is recording all of that, and ultimately the Most High is going to give a double portion, or he's going to give him a double portion upon his head, man. Okay. The Most High is going to have it to where a double portion of all of the wickedness that all of these so-called white people have done is going to be returned upon to their own head. Okay? Right, whether they went out there and stole, killed off 1 million people on an account of opium so they can make medical drugs, whether they killed off a whole bunch of people so they can have some type of rule and dominance within the earth when it hasn't been given unto him, but more specific to the point, by having it to where the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans were having to catching the hardcore hell that they caught underneath these devils. Okay, they're gonna have it to return upon their own head. Okay. So the book of Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, and this is the 4th verse. It says, "But ye brethren are not in darkness, right, that this day should overtake you." So you're supposed to be in a mindset, look, these prophecies are coming to pass, man. Okay, I can see that happening. That's written about within the scriptures. I can see the earthquake popping up. That's written about as an indicator within the scriptures. I can see this martial law playing out. That's written about within the scriptures. I can see civil unrest. That's written about within the book of Mark, the 13th chapter. These were all clues. These were all indicators of what the Lord was going to do when he was going to return. All right? These were all things that you're going to point and say, look, this is happening. Okay? That's happening. Okay? And it's happening for the express purpose that the Most High is returning. He's preparing his grand entrance, man. Okay? The Most High is preparing his grand entrance by way of having these earthquakes pop out all over the place.